Hello there. In this week's practice, we will be viewing the body as a landscape. We will study the terrain, read the topography, and explore the inner ecosystems of our bodies. You'll need a couple of blocks, have them set at the top edge of your mat, and your yoga tune-up balls for later. We'll begin on our back in a big X shape. Just letting the legs release long, the arms reach up overhead. Drop the weight of the body down against the floor. As you invite your awareness to the breath, the breath moving, circulating through the body, moving across this landscape. A gentle breeze with each inhale and exhale. Like the wind moving through the trees, the meadow, how it shifts the landscape, it moves through. Notice how your breath does the same thing for your body. How the movement of each inhale and exhale creates a cascade of movement within the body. Begin to notice the places where your body is making contact with the floor. The back of one hand or both, the outsides of the lower legs, the glutes, shoulder blades, the skull. Tracking that unique topography of your body's landscape. The rolling hills and valleys of the bones, the muscles. As you read this topography, if there are any intentions you would like to set, take this time, call those intentions in, and take a few deep breaths to seal them into your practice. Slowly hug the knees in towards the belly. Take a light rock and roll up and down that backbone. Making your way upright, the legs will cross, the hands will reach forward to the mat, and you'll step and arrange yourself back into your tabletop. From here, find some familiar shapes of cow and cat, and also find some unfamiliar shapes or movements by off-roading from cow-cat and taking an off-road spine dance. Moving to the shoulders, head, neck, hips, waist. How does this landscape move on the mat today? Like tectonic plates shifting, how can your body shift around against the mat? This will lead you into your downward dog when you're ready, tucking the toes, pressing the hands into the earth to lift the hips up and back. Take a full breath in here. And a deep breath out. With your inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet, knees bend, look forward, and as you exhale, step or hop your feet to the top of the mat, releasing in that forward fold. Shift your weight into the balls and toes of the feet, halfway lift of the spine with your inhale. And as you exhale, press down through the feet, continue to stand all the way tall, stacking your bones, returning to that dynamic alignment in mountain pose. Take a deep breath in, circle sweep the arms out and around overhead. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips and dive forward over the legs. Hands come to blocks to the mat. You'll inhale your right foot back to a low lunge. Exhale, release that back knee down. Untuck the toes. Then shift your hips back so that right hip is stacking over the right knee. Blocks can walk back towards the hips as well as you lengthen your left leg, flexing the toes up and back towards the body. Make sure that left leg isn't skewed too far forward. If anything, plugging that femur bone into the hip socket. Adjusting your blocks if they need to be at a higher, more supportive height here. We're going to articulate through the foot. Starting from that flex, you'll move the foot all the way down to connect onto the mat, feeling those toe prints press, and like you're trying to pick something up with the foot, scooping, tractioning the foot against the mat until you unfurl back to that flex. Take that a couple times, moving slowly so that you can really articulate through all those tiny bones and muscles, pulling the earth up and through to a flex. Make sure you breathe as you do this and find softening in other parts of the body, relaxing the shoulders, the jaw. Foot will return to that flex. You'll rebend the left knee, plant the left foot. Blocks can shift forward, hands will plant, low lunge to step on back, downward dog. With your inhale, make your way to a plank pose. As you exhale, lower either knees, chest, chin, or one solid piece to the earth. Rooting down through tops of feet and palms as you inhale, elbows reach back towards the heels as the heart lifts forward. Exhale, push up and back, toes tuck, hips high, head low, downward dog. Take a full breath in here. Then a deep breath out. Right leg rises with your inhale, foot is flexed. Exhale, knee towards the belly, step the foot forward and through to your low lunge. Hands can return back to those blocks, and you'll press down through your left palm and reach that left hamstring up towards the ceiling as the right fingertips fly up for a low lunge twist. Spread those shoulder blades down the back. Feel that width and expansion from top hand to bottom hand. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale, release the hand to the block, step on forward, and clear the blocks off the mat, forward fold. Arms reach wide with your inhale, press down through the feet to stand tall. And exhale, release back down over the legs. Hands to blocks under shoulders. Inhale, left foot reaches back, low lunge. Exhale, release the back knee down, untuck the toes, send the hips back, blocks move with you as you lengthen that right leg anchored onto the heel. Plug that thigh bone into the hip socket and start with a firm flex of the foot. Begin to articulate through the foot, waking up the foot, all those muscles and bones in there, and really like you're trying to pull the earth up from the sole of the foot. Toes scrunched to then release in that flex. Taking that a couple more times in your own timing. Breathing through it, and notice if your jaw is clenching, If anywhere else in the body is clenching, where can you soften as you find this very specific, unique work for the foot, the ankle, that you may be feeling all the way up the channel of the leg. Next time your foot is flexed, rebend the knee, plant the foot. Blocks can shift forward. Hands will plant, back toes tuck. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step back, downward dog. Deep breath into your plank pose. Exhale, resist gravity as you lower the front body down to the mat. Inhaling for your cobra, lift the head, the heart. Exhale, push and release back, downward dog. Full breath in here. And deep, settling exhale out. Left leg rises to three-legged with your inhale, and as you exhale, knee towards the belly, stepping the foot forward, hands to those blocks under the shoulders. Press down through your right palm and energize through the right leg line as you inhale, left arm reaches to twist. Exhale, shoulder blades soften down the back. Deep breath in. And exhale, revolve around the center channel of the spine. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lower the hand down, step the foot forward, and release over the legs. Blocks can come to the top of the mat. Arms reach wide with your inhale, press down to stand tall. Hands to heart center as you exhale. Knees bend, and sit your hips back to that high squat. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, soften the front hip flexors, put more weight into the heels. Take a deep breath in and find length from the top of the head to the tailbone. As you exhale, rotate to your right. So you're finding a twist. It's gonna feel shallow. Keeping both knees in line with one another, so you're truly just twisting from the rib cage and above. Press into your right foot, kick your left foot back to a twisted high lunge. Take a full inhale here. As you exhale, spin the back heel down, open up, adjust your legs to warrior two. Breathing, inhale. Reaching the legs, splitting them apart, really pushing them down and out as you exhale, like trying to move the earth underneath. Bring your front forearm to thigh, top arm reaches overhead, side angle. Deep, deep breath in. Exhale, just like in that low lunge twist, revolve around the center of the spine. One more full breath in here. And as you exhale, reach forward, grab your blocks, and bring them around to the left side of your mat. Both feet are parallel with one another as you find the blocks under your shoulders. So that you're balanced between upper and lower body. You want those blocks, if anything, a little further forward so that you're not putting too much weight into the legs. You're going to bend both knees and then shift your hips over to the left, bending into that left knee. Then bend both knees back through center, shifting over to the right, gliding the hips to the other side. Back through center, both knees bend, and over to the left. So you can continue like this, side to side, bending knees through center, and then one knee bent, one leg straight. Or if you'd like to keep both legs straight the entire time and just find more of a tilting of the pelvis side to side, that will access a deeper stretch into the upper inner thigh, inner groin area, whereas bending the knees and straighten, you'll still get into the inner upper thigh, but it's just different. So you can play around with one, the other, or both. Let your head stay more or less in line with the spine so that you're looking down at the front or top edge of those blocks in between the hands. Gliding along the pelvis. Return your hips, your pelvis back through center. Bend the knees, round through the spine, press down through the feet, and inhale, roll on up, legs straighten, arms lift overhead. Exhale, spin those right toes forward, bend the right knee, warrior two, and then you'll flip your palms, and inhale, reverse your warrior, tip up and back. Exhale, hands come down around your front foot, and you'll step on back to a downward dog. Take an inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet. Knees bend, look forward, and with your exhale, hop or step to the top of the mat. Go ahead, pause and grab those blocks, and we'll move them over to the right so that they're there and ready for you for the next side. In that forward fold, you'll take a halfway lift of the spine. And exhale, float the spine back down to forward fold. Knees bend, hips sit back, arms reach and stretch up and forward for your high squat. Hands gather at heart center. Full breath in, lengthen the sides of the waist. Keep those knees where they are as you exhale from the rib cage, rotate to the left. Shift into your left foot, step that right foot back. You may find a little more twist in that high lunge. Full inhale. And as you exhale, spin the back heel down, open up, adjust the legs as needed, settle into warrior two. Big inhale. Can you grow wider, larger, more expansive with your exhale? Front forearm to thigh, top arm reaches overhead, big breath in. Exhale, push down through the back foot as you lengthen those right ribs up and back. One more inhale. And then exhale, let the arms sweep forward and around, hands to blocks, finding your wide-legged forward fold on the other side. This time, rather than hip gliding, we're going to lower and release into a forward fold over the legs. Hands can stay on those blocks. Take a deep inhale. And a big exhale. Push yourself back up to that parallel place of the spine. We're going to sit into our right hip. So both legs stay straight, and if you did that straight hip glide, it's similar. You're just shifting over to the right hip. Bring your left block and place it right underneath the center of the face, the heart. Push down through that left hand as you inhale the right arm up to twist. So your pelvis should be skewed off to the right here. You're sitting into that right hip, stretching, opening into the inner left thigh. Full breath in. Exhale, push down through the bottom arm, reach taller through the top arm. Take one more inhale. And exhale, lower on down. And then switch over to the left. Your hand will come to that block in the center, right hand, press down, inhale, left arm sweeps up to twist. Exhale, keep pressing down through the pinky edge sides of both feet. As that top arm reaches taller, the bottom hand pushes into the block. One more inhale. And exhale, track on back through center. Blocks can stay there. As you release into a full forward fold, or if you need to move them off to the side so your head can release all the way. Bend into the knees, roll on up through the spine, and sweep those arms out and around overhead. Deep breath in. Exhale, spin those left toes forward, bend into the front knee, warrior two. Flip the palms. Inhale, reverse your warrior, tip up and back. And exhale, hands come down around your front foot, stepping back, downward dog. Take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine to plank pose. Exhale, lower down with control to the mat. From here, we're going to flip around onto our back body. So you're on your back. with your arms reaching up overhead, backs of hands pressing against the floor. Legs are out long, finding energy, active energy from fingertips to toes. Your inhale is your length here. As you exhale, you're going to curl your knees in towards your chest and lift your pelvis off the mat. So your inhale is to lengthen, your exhale is to contract and scoop. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl, heels stay close and towards the seat. Inhale, long. Exhale, curl. So there's an element of momentum here, but also an element of great core effort. Gathering the knees to hug in and the heels to drag in and stay tight towards those sits bones. Take a few more here. Breathing the breath, supporting your movement, supporting that core engagement. Then you'll release those legs out long. Take a moment, return to that X shape we began in, and just let the bones settle and connect with the earth. Deep inhale. And deep exhale. Your arms will slowly release down to the sides of the body, bending the knees, feet will plant. Your hands will connect with the mat. Heels are pretty close in towards the pelvis. Push down through the feet. With your inhale, lift your hips and float the arms up and back overhead. As you exhale, roll on down through the spine line, imprinting each vertebra as you release the hips and the hands back to the mat where you began. Inhale, push down to lengthen and rise. And on your exhale, can you soften into the spine line through each part to lower down. Taking this in your own timing. Moving very slowly and mindfully, especially on the exhale, the lowering. Reading the topography of this movement, the ascension, the descension, the elevation, gain, and change. The next time your pelvis is earthbound, you'll roll on over to one side and press yourself up to a seat. Find your tune-up balls and switch around so that you're now facing the front of your mat again. We'll be taking a plowing movement for the glutes. So you're envisioning that your tune-up balls are a plow. They're going to plow against the landscape of your glute minimus, medius, and maximus. So we're getting the whole gluteal region from that outer hip. You can feel that bony point at the side, your greater trochanter. So we're starting just behind that, or if you have a seam on your legs, a lot of time, or on your pants, a lot of times it's just behind that seam. And we're going to be plowing across all the way towards the tailbone, going as far as it is comfortable for you, and then we'll reset back to that outer hip point. We'll take that a few times, a few plows on each side. So first getting into position, knees bending, taking it to the left hip to start. So right behind, you'll feel it. If you're on the bone, you'll definitely feel it. So rolling just behind that bony point of the side of the pelvis. Hands come back behind you. That right knee, right leg can stay bent. You're going to let that left knee open out to the side, just in whatever is your natural external rotation, so that you're not holding on to that left leg at all. The tendency here is, as we find our plowing motion, is you're gonna activate and lift this knee, engage this leg. So I'll remind you, just relax that leg. Let your weight settle down. Actively lightly push your glutes against the plow of the tune-up balls. And then from there, with that connection of balls against the glutes, slowly roll like you're trying to push the mass of your muscle towards your tailbone. Obviously, it's not gonna all just move over, but that's the visual. So you're pushing your butt towards the center of your body. And once you get there, you'll reset. Take it a couple more times, relaxing, let everything sink down, and then push, plow against those glute muscles. Keep that left knee, left leg relaxed. Notice if it's wanting to work, that those left leg muscles are wanting to engage at all. See if you can keep them easy. One more pass here. Really pushing, plowing across the glutes. Relaxing that left leg. I just caught myself. All right. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Turn around so you can see. Finding right along that outer hip area, just behind the bony prominence. Relax your right leg. Relax your weight down, and then plow across the fields of your glutes. All the way to center, towards that tailbone, towards the center of the sacrum. And then release back, reset, drop your weight, and plow. So a slow, steady push here is great to allow that time for those muscles to really shift. Taking one more, dropping the weight down, pushing that massive muscle towards the center. Relaxing that right leg. All right, and we'll come on out of that. You can set tune-up balls off to the side and return back to the mat. Arms and legs relaxed against the floor. Eyes can drift shut. As you sense that spreading of the glutes against the mat, softening of the muscles around the bones. Returning your awareness to the breeze of the breath, how it moves across your landscape. And how your body meets the earth now. How has your landscape shifted in the past half hour from this movement? Do you feel perhaps a little more connected to the floor beneath you? The surfaces of the body wider, more relaxed and spread against the mat. With your next inhale, reach those arms up overhead and take a long stretch. As you exhale, hug your knees in towards your belly, round the chin towards the chest, hugging into a small tight ball. And you'll roll that ball over to the side and press yourself upright, making your way to find your seat. With your inhale, arms will sweep out, up and around overhead, collecting the hands into gentle fists. As you exhale, draw those fists down to the bowl of the pelvis. Bow your head forward towards your landscape of the body, the landscape that you call home, the earth. As you seal in, acknowledge and integrate the benefits of this holistic movement practice. It was an honor to be your guide in this body exploration today. Until next time, stay luminous.